Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Sorry, guys. That was my best intro in quite a while. Wow. I got distracted in mid-sentence because that happens to me. How you guys doing? Been a couple of days. First night I just wasn't feeling well, and then last night I didn't even go to stream. I was streaming. Me and Satsu had just finished our game stream, and I was talking to him and Random American in the chat afterwards. And I'm like, these guys aren't listening to me. Is my mic stopped? Because my mic has had issues a couple of days. And I look and my internet is dead. I'm like, oh shit. And so I look into it, and it wasn't that the internet died, it was that my Wi-Fi adapter had died, which really irritated me because I've done 3 upgrades to my computer in the last couple of years. And in 2 of those, I broke Wi-Fi antennas because I forgot to take them out before I laid the computer down. And so I busted one all to hell. I had one that was barely working. So when I went to do this latest round, the first thing I did was pull out that antenna to make sure I didn't break it. And somehow it broke anyway. It does not work at all anymore. And I had to go back to the one that's partially busted. And that's the one that I've had for a couple of weeks now, and it's been giving me a lot of issues. So I finally ordered new ones. I did get the one that I have working. You guys want to hear how I did it? I got out a soldering gun and I popped it open. And no, what I did is smack the shit out of it and blow into it and shake it really hard. I plugged it into every possible USB port on my computer, and it finally fucking worked. So here we are tonight. Oh my God. Few things annoy me more than computers not working how I want them to work, which is why Ethernet is superior. Well, here's something you should know. If you use Starlink like I do for at least part of what I do, there is no Ethernet connection. There isn't one. It is purely Wi-Fi. And for the other one, I would have to run a massive cord through my house to do that. So, yeah, shit happens. Today begins my 38th time around the sun. Dutton, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dutton. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. Speaking of which, Random American, I wasn't online last night. As you know, he was in the discussion when everything fell apart yesterday. His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Random American. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, guys. I hope you both have great ones. I really, really do. Or in Random's case, I hope you had a great one. And my birthday was Saturday. I'm just going to sing birthday songs all night tonight. That's my goal. Aries, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Remember, if you are here on those days, I will sing to you on those days. But since we weren't around, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aries. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you had a great one as well. All right. Enough of my problems and birthdays. Let's just chat, shall we? Let's just chat. Oh my God, we've missed a lot. Our last video was the butt sex video, which, by the way, is still one of my favorite things I've ever got to put in a thumbnail. We had some backlash from it. Well, not us. The guy who got his back lashed got some backlash. He ended up fired. His boss was like, "Yeah, we're not hiring him anymore." And the news all comes out and says he was fired for allegedly having sex in the Senate chamber. The dude's on video. You can see his face. You can see his face. It's him. He's getting railed. There's no alleged about it. And it's not a crime right now, so we don't have to go allegedly. It's him. He was fired for it. He did it. No, allegedly. And that's as much as the news said about it. Everybody's like, okay, they fired this guy. We better talk about it, or they'll say that we don't talk about things that affect Democrats. And so they all write these tiny little stories. This dude gets plowed in the Senate chamber and it's alleged. You guys are, I hate the news. I hate the news. Not just his face. That's true, Sherry. That is true. Got to see a lot more of him than I ever needed to. A lot of stuff came out about him too. I mean, it's not like he was shy about this. There's a picture of him that he posted to his own, I think it was Twitter. It might have been Instagram, but I'm almost positive it was Twitter. his own account, he posted it, of him standing there naked, bent over with the camera going over his back. So you don't actually see his genitals, but you see his ass up in the air. And it had the caption, "Waiting for Senator Graham in the Senate showers." Like, this dude is a degenerate. How did he stay hired then? Is nobody monitoring the social media, the guys who are working for our senators? Good God. And there was another one, I forget what the other one was, but there's another one where he's mostly naked. I'm like, I don't need to see any more of this man's skin. I really don't. But this isn't the first time we've seen this with somebody who gets hired by, let's call them lefty politicians, where they're like, we hired a gay person. And apparently all they know is like really sexually degenerate gay people. They don't know a Tim Rubin who, dresses in nice suits when he's in public and has gay sex behind closed doors with his man. No. They have people who are like, look at my butthole. So, I mean, it's weird. Guy was a degenerate. That's why he was hired. Maybe that's true, Dangerous. I don't know. But it doesn't do a lot of good for the gay community when every time they hire one of these assholes and they put him out in front of the world, like, look how we care about oh shit, what he fuck now? We just had a story break earlier tonight about a trans person who where's that at? Hang on, let me get this story so I have it correct. But they had been attacked. They'd been attacked, and they end up becoming this big icon, I guess is the word, in their area. I want to say it's Philadelphia, but don't quote me on that until I find the fucking thing. No. Why can I not find this now? Oh, I know it was sent to me. This is what happens when I do a show and I just run off at the mouth when I'm not really sure what I plan on talking about. Then I have to go looking for this shit. There it is. Where's this from? Is it Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania, I think. Prominent LGBTQ plus advocate Kendall Stevens arrested in Philly. Oh, I was right. Yeah, Philly. After raping 2 boys under the age of 13. Yeah, this person comes to prominence because of a video of them getting beat up, right? And they're like, it's not safe to be a trans out here. Let's revisit that video of them getting beat up and see if it makes a little more sense for the whole community to be pissed off at them now that it's come out that they allegedly raped 2 boys under the age of 13. Yeah. Progressive politics in action. You think that's going to make those 2 boys lifelong Republicans? Anyway, that's a bad question to ask. But seriously, I mean, stop putting these fucking sexual degenerates around kids. I'd rather them be having sex in the Senate chamber than banging children. But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. That's just me just rambling. Why do you listen to this shit? Tonight, though, what we're here to talk about is Tucker Carlson and Timmy Pool, because, dear God almighty, I mostly like Tucker Carlson. And I mean that sincerely. I like a lot of the work he does. But Tucker Carlson is one of those people that makes me remind you guys, even if you like somebody, even if you like what they normally do, you need to be checking what they say. You can't just take their word for it because, oh, this is somebody I agree with. And we saw that with Tucker's Andrew Tate discussion, where he's like, there's not even sexual charges. It was one of the worst moments I've ever seen of Tucker Carlson. This shows me that, there's no objective reporter there. Because if he was an objective reporter, at the very least, he would have read the goddamn charges, which are available online. And instead, he just took the word of a dude who has literally gone onto the internet and admitted to everything he's been accused of. That's who he decided to take the word of, over reading the fucking indictment. And not over whether he did it, just over what he was indicted for. Andrew Tate has been out there lying about what he was indicted for. And Tucker Carlson's like, oh, that's what you were indicted for? Never thought once to read the fucking indictment. And I watched that thing. I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. How can you be this wrong? You're Tucker Carlson. You're supposed to be the guy who goes out there and gets the truth. No, Tucker's just like all the others. He's got his biases, and it's something you got to keep in mind. It just is. And that leads us to today. Turning Point USA is having their really big, their Turning Point USA extravaganza.
Can I just
I don't know what they call it. It's their yearly meeting where they bring politicians together and they raise a whole bunch of money for themselves, and they have people come on and do stupid shit. Well, our friend Tim Pool was there, and he interviewed Tucker Carlson. You really want to annoy Monkey? Put Tim Pool up there and have Tucker Carlson say stupid shit. And that's exactly what we had here. So let's back that up. Make sure my volume is decent. Yeah, okay. This is Tucker Carlson being interviewed by Tim Pool.
Can I just ask a question, since you all are so on the internet and like I'm not that?
All right, we're going to stop right there. Can I ask you guys a question, since you're on the internet and I'm not? Since you're so on the internet and I'm not. Yeah, hey. I'm just looking at this from the outside. I got a question for you. All right, remember, he's not one of those internet people. He doesn't pay attention to what's said on there. So
That much. You really get the sense that Ron DeSantis, who I liked as governor, the people who represent him on.
I got to pause right there, and I don't know why that just blacked out on me. But I liked his governor. He's still governor. Oh, that's right. It's their technical issues. I liked his governor. He's still governor.
People who represent him online are the nastiest, the stupidest, and the most zero-sum people I've ever seen in my life. And
the people who represent Ron DeSantis online are the nastiest, stupidest, zero-sum people I've ever seen in my life. What? Dude, you're a Trump supporter. Okay, well, let's see if he fleshes that out a little bit more.
And I don't think that reflects him, but it's like, this is kind of small ball. And by the way, these purported conservatives, Ron DeSantis changed his view, and I like him. Okay, I think he's been a good governor. I just want to be clear about that. I know him personally. I like him. But his donor, Ken Griffin, told him to change his view on Ukraine from it's a regional conflict we shouldn't get involved in to it's a super important thing we should send more money.
Okay, that is just wrong. What he just said there is entirely wrong. Ron DeSantis didn't change his view from that. What Ron DeSantis changed his view on is Tucker Carlson put out a questionnaire to the different candidates, and when Ron DeSantis answered it, he said that it was a, quote, border dispute. That's what he said, a regional border dispute. And even then, he was saying we don't need to be sending money to it. Ron has not changed that stance. The closest he's come to changing his stance, and you can look at it this way if you want to, is that he's been saying that the money that's being spent over there isn't going for defense. It's being spent on pensions and paying people just regular wages and buying people houses and stupid shit like that instead of going for any of this, and that we shouldn't be getting more entangled in it, which is exactly what he said at the time. So Tucker just straight out lies right here. This part's just hey, look, guys, I get it. You like Ron DeSantis, but he changed his mind on this. You want to talk about changing your mind there? Really? Okay, all right.
One donor got him to change his view, and all these so-called conservatives are supporting that like it's the most important thing ever. Like, who are these people, and what is their problem? Like, what is going on with them?
It does reflect on Ron.
All right, wait, we'll get to Timmy because Tim is the next part of this. So I just want to discuss the DeSantis fandom. Some of y'all are about to get mad at me because of all of the groups that I interact with online. And I feel like I have a fairly unique perspective here in that I don't support either of these guys passionately. I stand up when I think what's said about them is wrong. And in doing so, I draw the ire of the other side invariably. It happens. So having pissed off both sides on a pretty frequent basis, let me assure you The Trump supporters, Mr. I'm barely online here, so maybe that's it. He's only online long enough to see DeSantis supporters be mean. We'll get back to that in a second. But Trump supporters are 100 times worse. Let's just talk about the top surrogate of Mr. Donald Trump on Twitter. Do you guys know who that is? It's Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer, who Donald Trump was rumored to be hiring. He wanted to hire that crazy bitch until somebody even in his campaign went, no, sir, look, that's an exceptionally bad idea. And so she acts as an unpaid surrogate of the Trump campaign. This is a woman who doxed Riley Gaines because Riley had the fucking nerve, went out there and killed babies. No. She said she supports Ron DeSantis. And Laura Loomer doxed her for that. Now, Riley Gaines is a swimmer who had swam against Leah Thomas. And she's gone on to speak out about how fucked up that is, men competing against women. And before Loomer doxes her, there's a moment where Riley Gaines had to hide for 3 hours at a college where she was giving a talk because of the violence being directed at her. And Laura Loomer thought it was a good fucking idea to put her address out there for the whole fucking world to see because she said, I support Ron DeSantis. And you're going to tell me that these nastiest people are the DeSantis people. He said nastiest. Okay, all right, so there's nasty. What about stupidest? Well, let's go to Laura again. Laura is quite famous for thinking her rotten tires had been slashed. She puts up a picture going, they're slashing my tires now. Because she thought that's how important she is. They're slashing my tires now. And she put up a picture. And the tires weren't slashed. They were rotten. They were literally rotten. They slashed my tires. Zero sum? You want to talk about zero sum? The majority of the people, the Trump supporters right now who swear Ron DeSantis is the fucking devil, supported him a year ago. And the only reason that they treat him like shit now is because they're Trump supporters. And there's a zero sum there. Oh, if you're not with us, you're against us. That's all it is. And you have the fucking balls to sit up here and call out the DeSantis people when that's your side? Fuck you. Nastiest, stupidest, zero sum people. That's the Trump supporters, homie. And hashtag not all. There's a lot of really good Trump supporters. There's a lot of really good DeSantis supporters who don't get into this shit. But if you're talking about the nastiest of them, that's his word, not mine. He didn't say they're nasty, stupid people. The nastiest, stupidest. That's your side, homie. That's your side. That's your side who goes out there and, oh my God, the vaccines are the worst thing ever. Donald Trump gave the vaccine companies blanket immunity on that? No, he had to. It's okay that he did it because, did you know Ron DeSantis made people get shots? I mean, he didn't, but, yeah, anything but actually paying attention to what happened. I think there's reasons Trump did it. Do I think they're a good reason? Not really. I think they made sense at the time, but to just deny it and then attack everybody else as though everybody else is the villain there. If you don't like the vaccines, that's a Donald Trump thing, period. But he didn't mandate it. What do you think the whole purpose of that was? The whole purpose was to get people vaccinated. Thank you so much. Congratulations, conservatives. You have become the very thing you sought to destroy. Just ideology, hashtag not all. Thank you for that feminist donation. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. The way the conservatives are behaving in this Trump DeSantis thing is it's leftonian. It's leftist. It is all or nothing. Like you better toe this line. If you step out, if you point out a reality I don't like, you're fucking evil. But let's talk about those. What was it? Nasty, stupid, zero-sum DeSantis supporters. Do you know who those people used to be? Do you know who they used to be in 2016 and 2020? Where do you think they learned all of this, or at least honed all of their skills at mean memes and nasty comments? They weren't supporting Ron DeSantis for president in 2016. They weren't supporting Ron DeSantis for president in 2020. They were Trump supporters. This is Trump supporters turning on Trump supporters and being like, you guys are the meanest. Jesus fucking Christ. How do you guys not see this? How can you guys have become this fucking ingrained in your own bullshit? Sew up your own goddamn ass. Fuck. Those people who were my friends yesterday and are now assholes for behaving the way that I followed them for back when I supported what they support, they're bad people now. They're acting this way because they were the Trump supporters, for fuck's sake. Yeah, the meanest, the nasty. Fuck off. You big old pussy. Speaking of big old pussies, you Trump supporters out there whining about how mean and nasty the DeSantis people are. Are you serious? Are you for real? When did you guys become such pussies that you can't take criticism or have people say mean shit to you? It's what you guys have been doing for 8 fucking years. Oh no, but they said it to me. You big fucking bullies. Have some fucking balls, man. Stand up and go, all right, fuck it. Yeah, they're throwing down. It gets nasty in politics. No. You guys are whining like women, for fuck's sake. Oh my God, they said something mean. By the way, did you know that they're stupid? Carlson here actually calls these people stupid while talking about how nasty they are. Okay. Just a blanket statement. Just a blanket statement about DeSantis supporters online. They're stupid. By the way, they're nasty. Did you know that? You fucking asshole. Tucker knows what he's doing. Tucker is a propagandist. He's a news person. And he tells his story very well, and he knows that the people that clapped along when he said that stupid shit aren't going to go out there and be objective about what's going on. Objectively, as somebody who has pissed off both of these groups, I assure you the MAGA folks are worse. They really are. That doesn't mean Trump is bad, and it doesn't mean DeSantis is bad. But their supporters are fucking shitbags. Hashtag not all. The loudest, most annoying ones, the ones that we're talking about here. But I just love how suddenly these tactics, these are the meanest, stupidest people. This is the Trump way, for fuck's sake. And now you guys are clutching your fucking pearls. They're so mean. Meanwhile, your top surrogate's doxing a woman who had to hide because of the threats against her. No, that's not mean. Somebody actually said that Loomer and Gaines are both horrible people who attack folks. All right, let's just for argument's sake say that's true. Did Riley Gaines dox anybody? Did she dox somebody because they supported Trump? Tell us how you really feel. I hate stupid hypocrisy. I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of a bunch of whiny fucking bitches out there being like, oh my God, they said something mean to me after spending the last almost decade laughing at people for acting that way. Suddenly, oh my God, they're coming after the Trump people. Trump people can handle themselves. They've been doing it for a long time. No, that they said mean stuff. Shut the fuck up. Speaking of shut the fuck up, several people had sent it to me. Too late. I'd already seen it. But I follow Vivek. Did you guys see Vivek tell Van Jones to shut the fuck up on the Turning Point USA stage? Oh, it's beautiful. We'll watch that moment in a little bit. But yeah, I'm just so tired. But as bad as this part was, Timmy Pool is going to weigh in with his $1 million take, with his big brained, look how smart I am take. And once again, even before I play it, I just have to ask, who the fuck listens to this retard? All right, here's his take.
Who are these people and what is their problem? Like, what is going on with them?
It does reflect on Ron.
All right, it does reflect on Ron. So then it reflects on Trump too, right? Right? Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. Trump's people literally doxing a woman who's on your own fucking side politically, who's standing up against the trans women in sports bullshit, doxed her. But hey, you can't blame that on Trump just because fuck right off.
Because Ron should have fired the people running his campaign a long time ago.
Because Ron should have fired the people. Okay, all right. Let's say Ron fired the people that ran his campaign. We'll get to why he thinks, which is, by the way, the dumbest part of this, why he thinks they should have been fired. Let's say DeSantis brings in somebody else. Let's say he brings in people, because remember, the people online are not part of the DeSantis campaign. They're surrogates like Loomer is. Why do you think people who used to be Trump supporters, who've been acting this way for 8 years, are going to change how they're going to act for DeSantis in this campaign? Why would, who's running the, what, you think the new campaign manager would come out and go, hey, guys, don't be mean to Trump supporters. They have very thin skin. And those people are going to listen? Are you retarded? Thank you, Circus Zero. Well, quite a few of them were lefties not too long ago. Now we are eating ourselves like the left. It's spread like leprosy. And this is why I told people, don't act like the left. And then, but we're fighting fire with fire. No, you're becoming them. Dixie Rose, I'm so sorry I missed this. That's an offline donation. That is incredibly generous. To help fix your Wi-Fi, I need my Ranting Monkey and Mr. Jack stream. Well, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I missed that. That is very, very generous. And that does actually pay for my 2 things I got. The right has always been a few years behind the left. That's becoming more clear every election. When I stopped voting for major party candidates, that's why I did it. And it's not that the left becomes the right or the right becomes the left. There's a circular nature to politics in itself where the 2 sides will just switch. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, let's just have a for instance. We're going to use a hypothetical here because I can't think of one right. Oh, I have one. Bush puts in tax cuts, right? Tax cuts for the wealthy. Tax cuts for the, they got to go. Obama campaigns on, we got to get rid of tax cuts for the wealthy. And the liberals all hate it. Oh, fuck this fucking shit. Then Obama gets into office. What does he do? Oh, yeah, we got to keep the tax cuts for the rich because with the economy in a downturn. And what did the left all do? Oh, yeah, we got to have those. We got to have them. Yeah, we got to hold it. Politicians and their supporters have a way of justifying anything. And it doesn't matter how much of a fool it makes them look in doing so, because they don't have principles. They have team sports. It's what they do. And it's why I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, because I don't believe in team sports. I believe in principles. And I think we would be much better off if everybody did. If everybody actually had principles instead of just, but it's my side. I mean, we haven't seen something like the Reagan Democrats in a long, long time. If you go back to 1980, there was a phenomenon called the Reagan Democrats, because a whole bunch of Democrats who have just come out of 4 years of living under Jimmy Carter were like, I cannot live like this. I'm going to support this other guy. We don't see that anymore. Now it's just like, I don't care that he raped a baby. That's my dude. That baby. No, I'm not going to even make jokes about that. That was a horrible thing. Fuck me. But seriously, they will defend anything. It doesn't matter. Think of your blood pressure. This is how I lower my blood pressure. But anyway, let's get into his big brain take here. This is so fucking stupid. Here we go.
Look, I respect that he wanted to launch his campaign on X, on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, I
at the time,
agree.
and it failed miserably. This is a mistake.
It failed miserably. This is a mistake. Like anybody predicted that would melt down. Do you know the truth about what happened with Ron DeSantis's launch on X? Him coming out there, I'm going to declare my candidacy here. Do you know why that, I'm using quotes, failed? Because so many people turned in to watch it that they weren't able to keep up with it. That's a win. Now, I will say that, yeah, they they didn't handle it very well. They should have come out and went, yeah, damn, man, we weren't expecting it. Look how much support we had. We melted down their fucking servers. And what? Yeah, who gives a fuck about the announcement? Do you guys even remember what Donald Trump like in his announcement this year? Did any of you guys even watch it? Do you guys know what Nikki Haley's look like, or Ramaswamy's look like, or Chris Christie's, Asa? Any of you? No, because the only reason this has become a talking point is because it's something to hit him at because it didn't go right. All right, and you know what? If you want him to take that, fine. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk, shall we? Do you guys remember? It's not that long ago. Who had the best political "I'm running for president" launch ever? The biggest crowd, the most amount of press attention. Anybody remember who that was? Anyone? You might have to look down because she's on her knees. It was Kamala Harris. And she had beat, who was it? Was it Bernie who had one bigger than hers right before that? There was somebody else who had one bigger right before her. And she blew it out of the water. The best launch ever. Well, I'm guessing by that measure, Timmy Pool voted for Kamala? He was the one person? No, probably not. But it's just a cheap shot to take at Ron DeSantis. The X thing melted down. He should have fired his whole staff over that. Yeah, because they were the ones running it, you stupid prick. All right, but he's got another one for us. He's got another one.
And now you've got, look, I know a lot of people groan, but a lot of people laugh. The high heels, boots scandal. I mean, who's giving this guy advice and why does he keep taking it?
Okay. All right. Let me see if I'm following Tim's logic here. Some Trump supporters decided to go after DeSantis saying he's wearing lifts in his shoes. And Ron DeSantis should have fired those people that work on his campaign because people were making jokes about Ron being short online. Okay, Tim. Let's say he fires everybody because Trump supporters are making fun of him being short. How does that fix that? The boot scandal. Yes, Mike. The boot scandal. Because there's a big thing on Ron DeSantis wears lifts in his shoes because he's short and ashamed of it. One, I don't give a fuck if he wears lifts. I really don't. If he's short and offended by it, whatever. I don't care. But to point, the two things he points to why you need to fire everybody in your fucking the people running your campaign. Because the X launch melted down because of how many people wanted to see you, and somebody made fun of you for being short. Why do people listen to this retard? Seriously. If you want to point to mistakes that the DeSantis campaign has made, point to the fact of how he's dealing with Trump, not Trump supporters, with Trump. With his inability to go out there and just say, hey, look, I respect what Trump did. I just think I'm the man to finish that job. He had his turn. He's getting up there in age. I can be there for 8 years to carry out this thing. There's things to criticize the campaign for. And Beanie Boy here comes up with X launch and boots. Who listens to this retard? Fuck me. When I saw Tucker Carlson say the stupid shit he said, I was already like, oh, it's fucking annoying. And then Beanie Boy pops up. Oh my God. This is the best the Republicans can offer, huh? This is conservatism here. All right, I guess. This is the standard bearer right now. This is where everybody's going. Everybody's trying to get up on Timmy Pool's show because that's where you go to get out your conservative bona fides online. Wow. And people listen to him. I don't know why. Maybe they just like somebody who never changes his clothes and looks like he smells like trash. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. There's the Republicans fighting with each other over really stupid shit. Guys, keep going at each other. I've already said this. We've been talking about this throughout the campaign. You guys are destroying the Republicans. You guys are going to let Joe Biden win because you are so up your own asses about this stuff. if Trump were to lose somehow to DeSantis, there's going to be Trump supporters who refuse to go out there and support DeSantis because how dare you take down our guy? And vice versa. There's going to be these DeSantis supporters who, remember, used to be Trumpians, who are so zero fucking sum that if their guy loses, they will fuck over their own party to get Joe Biden back in there a second time because, fuck that Ron DeSantis. I know I liked him a year ago, but now he's the fucking devil. You guys need to chill the fuck out. Save your vitriol for the other side. And the other side is not somebody who agrees with you slightly differently. Fucking retards. Ron DeSantis is just one of the corporate shill normal. No, he's not. No, he's not. He is not your normal rhino Democrat or Republican. And stop saying that stupid shit. Because if you're saying that, you're either lying or not paying attention. Ron has done a ton of shit to piss off the establishment. He's done a ton of stuff where he's going far beyond what the establishment who's out there bending over backwards to please DEI and trans bullshit. But yeah. Go ahead. Let Biden be your president again. Or vote other. Look, I'm not here to tell you to vote for. I just think if you're like, we got to get rid of Biden, I'm a Republican, and you're like, but I'm only going to support Trump, then you're not actually a Republican. You're a Trump supporter, and that's different. At least be honest about it. Just be honest and say, I don't care about conservatism. I don't care about, because I do not care about Republicans. I want to be clear on that. I don't care about the Republicans. I don't care about the Republican Party. I think they are just as bad as the Democrats. I think they're actually worse because they're wolves in sheep clothing most of the time. But I'm honest about it. I don't support any of these guys because of their R or their D. I do think there's Democrats who would be better presidents than some Republicans. However, I'm not the team sports guys, and watching the team sports guys eat each other alive is just kind of funny, especially after the last several years when they've literally been calling out liberals for it for so long. But anyway, enough of that shit. All the best to the Trump supporters and the DeSantis supporters out there, and it's coming. We're less than a month away. The first vote is on, I believe, the 15th. For legal reasons or YouTube reasons, I have to say. I'm not positive the 15th. I think it's the 15th in Iowa. Check and make sure. Don't take my word on when to go vote. Look it up yourself. Anyway, let's move along. There's so much to talk about. We've been gone for so long. I want to talk about Ashley St. Clair. That bitch has been annoying me lately. I get it. You're perky and Elon gives you attention. Are you going to have his next babies? But sorry, that's not nice. She's very mad tonight. She's very mad tonight because she was on she had to go on a flight, and it was a Delta flight flying from, I think, Texas. Don't quote me on that. Wherever the Turning Point USA thing was, back to New York City. And on her flight, there were a bunch of illegals. There were a ton of illegals, you guys. And she has video. Should we even pay attention to the video? I mean, we can, I guess. Oh, wait, that's my feed, not hers. Look, man, I'm producing my own show. You try it. She has video of her at the airport, and then she has a picture of her on the flight. The person next to her is got a bag that's still from the processing center for the illegals. But here, let's listen to Ashley for a second before we go to the post I really want to talk about.
I'm at the Phoenix airport right now. I'm waiting to board my flight to New York, to JFK. And it looks like we have a whole lot of migrants who are also boarding this flight that the U.S. taxpayers are paying for. This is what the U.S. taxpayers are paying for right here. Premium seats on Delta that they have people coming here. We're paying for this, shipping them out to New York City because guess what? Everywhere else is at capacity. So they have these sanctuaries.
I like real quick that I got to stop. Sorry. They got the premium seats. You know why she's upset about the premium seats? It's not because they're getting premium seats. It's that she's wealthy, so she gets to go on the premium seats herself, and now she has to sit next to them. It'd be different if they were sitting with the poors in the back. But
sanctuary cities like New York that they're now shipping these migrants to that we're all paying for. I'm at the feet.
Okay, in theory, I agree with her. Look, we shouldn't be shipping these people all over the country. We should be shipping them back to, well, their home countries. But I wanted to highlight this because this irritated the shit out. This is what I mean with Ashley. She just irritates the shit out of me. Why the hell's Delta complicit in shipping illegal migrants from border states like Arizona to New York City? Our own mayor, a Democrat, has begged Biden to stop sending the migrants here because we are overwhelmed. Actually, didn't your mayor blame DeSantis for that? Anyway, is Delta being directed to transport these migrants, or are they willingly shipping illegal migrants to cities they know are crumbling for a paycheck from taxpayers? Back up, Ashley. Back up a moment. Thank you. Republicans are playing Democrat games without understanding the Democrats have more experience and write the rules. True story. Okay. I agree with you that we shouldn't be shipping them all over the country. Ben, thank you so much. First one I've caught live in a minute. Going back to the beginning, have a Merry Christmas. That is very generous. Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you. Sorry, that just threw off my whole train of thought. Give me a moment here. Ashley, we know they're not going to send them back across the border. Okay? We agree on that, right? We all agree on that. They should 100%. However, since they're not, I would much rather have them sent to sanctuary cities than, as she suggests here, that they should just be forced. Arizona should be the ones forced to deal with it. They've been dealing with it for decades. New York has only had to deal with it for a year. Our own mayor said we should. Your own mayor said that you guys were a fucking sanctuary. So if they're going to be sanctuarying, let them sanctuary. If they got to be in this country, let them go to the liberal shitholes who have pushed the fucking platform that got us to where we fucking are. If you don't like it, Ashley, leave New York. I know, but you get to be the cool girl there. Go somewhere fucking else. Send them to New York. Send them to San Francisco. Send them to the places that are sanctuaries for this. Why the fuck should Arizona have to deal with it? Why should Texas or even California kind of deserves it. Why should the border states be the ones who have to deal with it? I just love that. My own mayor was begging Biden to stop. I don't give a fuck. Your own mayor is the one who said we're a sanctuary. Fuck off. I get it. It's an inconvenience for you now. Before, you didn't have to. You could talk about it without having to deal with it. I wonder, Ashley, and I'm be honest, I don't know. So I'm just curious. Were you there when Adams got elected, and how big of a push against Adams did you give? Was it as full-throated as your support of Donald Trump? I'm just curious. I really am. Because it seems to me that a lot of these people, they care until they have to care. And then it's like, no, Arizona needs to deal with this shit. Because that's what she's saying there. Arizona should have to. Why are you sending them from Arizona? Because that's where they are. And yeah, we should send them back home. Which, by the way, would also cost the American taxpayer. But as long as we're not sending them to sanctuary cities, I don't give a fuck. And I don't care if Adams is saying, don't send anymore. Fuck you. Arizona and Texas have been saying this for a long time. And you didn't give a shit. Not Ashley, Adams. Adams did not give a shit that they were dealing with it. Instead, he's like, no, we believe in sanctuary. Well, you got your fucking wish, bitch. How's that working out for New York? So easy to be a moral crusader when you're not actually having to deal with it, ain't it, Eric? Ain't it, Eric? When it's somebody else's problem and you can look on from afar, it's really easy to just go, we would deal with that. We'd deal with that just fine. All right, what else we got going on here? I just like making fun of this fat bastard, so we're going to talk about Rob Reiner's post from yesterday because the choice could not be more clear. Fascism, Trump, democracy from Biden. Biden is trying to jail his political opponent in an election. I got nothing else there. I don't understand how the Biden folks keep pushing this stupid shit. I guess it's the same way that they can still look at Ukraine and talk about how that's for democracy. There's democracy in Ukraine unless you disagree with Zelensky, in which case you have to go to prison. I fucking hate these people. Nothing really came of it, but a car smashed into Joe Biden's motorcade yesterday. Everybody's all right, but oh God, do I want to watch more of Tucker being an idiot? You know, my big criticism of Tucker for the longest time has been the fact that the man is not a fiscal conservative. He's just not. He actually has some very, very liberal views when it comes to spending, or at least did. And he was on with Glenn Greenwald the other day, and he just gives this weird fucking answer where they're talking about capitalism and specifically talking about Reaganomics and trickle down economics. I don't give a fuck about these conservatives who proudly choose to live in progressive hellholes. That's a good point. That is a very good point. But when you're a young, pretty girl and you only have a few years to ride on that, you're going to go live it up in New York. Actually, maybe she's from New York. I don't care. But yeah, you live there. You choose to live there. Why don't you go choose to live in Arizona where they're shipping them out from? Go make Arizona red again. No, stay in New York where your vote will never matter ever, once, ever. Anyway, to think Rob Reiner directed Princess Bride, damn, that's a shame. Look, the guy can direct a movie. That doesn't mean you should say shit about politics because he's a fucking idiot. Okay, so Glenn is upset about the way money is taxed in America. Well, let's just listen to the idiots. And I like Glenn most of the time too. Well, about half the time, because he's far more liberal than I am.
But it also kind of transformed economic policy. He frequently kind of denounced the classic sort of Reaganomics, this idea that, oh, we should all cheer for the richest people in our society to get richer because a rising tide lifts all boats. And everybody watches Raytheon and Boeing and BlackRock and Amazon get richer and richer and richer, and their boats aren't rising.
Oh, yeah, their boats were rising. We saw that under Trump. They do the tax cuts, and everybody did better until COVID. Unemployment's way down, wages are going up, not drastically, not like what happens after the COVID. When suddenly we just destroyed our economy on every possible front. But let me ask you this. Do you guys think people in the 1970s who were poor, like dirt poor Americans, would rather be dirt poor Americans in 1970 or in 1980 or 1988 or 1990 or 1998? Or any time after the 70s when they were so poor, and as the standard of living for poor people has risen with the tide, you fucking retard. Our poor people would not be poor in most of the world. That is just fact. Our poor people are running around with the latest iPhone. I don't want to fucking hear it. Does that mean they have a great life? No. Are they living like Elon Musk? No. But there was no rising tide. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. But anyway, okay. So yeah, he rejected this because there was no rising tide.
And it really led a lot of people who have been capitalists their whole lives to at least start questioning not capitalism as a theory, but capitalism, how it manifests in American society.
Well, the truth is that capitalism is, as much as we talk about it, we're not a capitalist society. The government, there's so many fucking regulations on capitalism. There are. That's the downfall of American capitalism, is all the little government fingers in it. You want to be honest about this, right, Glenn? They make them question not capitalism, but capitalism in America. Yeah, it's a push to push communism into our country. Look at how things have gone bad with capitalism. Well, why? Well, because the government's fixed it. That's the problem with capitalism in America, is the government fixing it. Fucking dumbass.
What is your view about sort of where the populist right is, the Trump movement is, when it comes to these core questions of economic theory and economic populism?
Okay, I want to stop right there because they're talking about Trump's economic theory. I want to be clear here. Trump's economics is crap. Trumponomics is crap. It's not that what he didn't help and stuff. What the problem is, he did it like all Republicans have, including Reagan. We're going to cut taxes. Great. Stimulate growth. Oh, by the way, we're going to saddle us with a ridiculous amount of debt. And this is before COVID. Just like every fucking Republican, they're like, we're going to spend and tax, or cut taxes and spend more. What? That makes no fucking sense. Try that in your own home. Get a worse job and start spending more and see how the fuck it works out. I'm all for the cut taxes side. But in order to do that, you have to cut spending. And that is my problem with Trump's economic policies. But anyway, so
I think.
Oh, and for the record, Glenn, you're just like, he rejected all of that. What did Trump do? What is one of the first things Trump does? He pushes through Reagan-esque tax cuts. Everybody gets in. It was across the board tax cuts. But there were tax cuts up and down. Rich people got tax cuts too. He didn't go, hey, we just need to cut taxes on the middle class.
A lot of people have awakened to the now demonstrable fact that libertarian economics was a scam perpetrated by the beneficiaries of the economic system.
Okay, we're talking about Reagan. So I guess Reagan was a libertarian in taxes. All right. But it was perpetuated by the people who benefit from it. That part is true. Our tax system is written by rich people for rich people. Nobody wants to do the actual fair thing and just have a flat tax. But this isn't even the part that really irritated me.
That they were defending. So they created this whole intellectual framework to justify the private equity culture that's hollowed out the country. That's my personal view, and I've seen it up close my whole life, so I think it's a fair assessment. I think a smarter way to assess an economic system is by its results.
Okay, well, let's look at the results of the U.S. Even as bad as our system is, we're still the richest nation on the world. We still have the richest poor people in the world. We're doing very well. I don't know what he gets at, but well, I do. Tucker Carlson, I don't know if you guys know this. He really hates dollar stores. I'm not kidding.
So you can assign whatever name you want to the economic system of the United States. You could call it market capitalism. You could call it a whole host of different things.
There's only one to actually call it. It's government mandated pseudo capitalism.
But I don't think any of that's useful. Those are boring conversations. I think you need to ask, does this economic system produce a lot of dollar stores?
Yep. There it is. Yeah, the way you talk about economics, this is not to talk about what's actually going on. The question is, does it make dollar stores? Does it make dollar stores? Crony capitalism. See, maybe crony pseudo capitalism I would accept, but just calling it crony capitalism still has the capitalism part, and it's not capitalism. There's a reason Walmart was for higher wages, and it was to shut out the other folks around. Government mandated higher wages. But Walmart doesn't pay people well. Walmart was all in favor of that shit because it would have given them more control over everything. And that's not capitalism. Capitalism would let everybody have an equal chance.
And if it does, it's not a system that you want.
If your system makes dollar stores, it's not a system that you want. He must really hate the yellow lettering on like Family Dollar.
Because it degrades people and it makes their lives worse, and it increases exponentially the amount of ugliness in your society. And
Tucker is not somebody who's ever had to live poor. Dollar stores, whether you like them or not, actually do help people live better. It gets them, especially in small towns where you don't have access to any other store. You have access to things that you'd have to drive for quite a while for. This has to be AI. It is not. This is Tucker Carlson. I've been telling you guys this for fucking years. This guy is not a conservative when it comes to economics. He's just not. He used to be damn near commie.
anything that increases ugliness is evil. And it's just kind of, let's just start there.
Did you catch that? Dollar stores are evil. Dollar stores make things ugly. Anything that increases ugliness is evil. I don't know what Tucker's on lately. Maybe he hung out with Joe Rogan and just started partaking way too much. I don't know, but Jesus Christ, Tuck.
So if it's such a good system, why do we have all these dollar stores? Dollar store is the clear, I mean, it's not the only ugly thing being created.
Yeah, what we need is sharper image stores all over the place where you pay 500 times more than you actually should for something. Yeah, that's a much better idea. But it wouldn't be ugly, and then there'd be no evil in the world.
In the United States, but it's one of the most common, and it's certainly the most obvious. So if you have a dollar store, you're degraded. And any town that has a dollar store does not get better; it gets worse. And the people.
Thank you, Keldrick. Man, the number of times I needed a dollar store when I was in college is insane. I relied on that shit. This ain't it, Tucker. Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. If it wasn't for the dollar store, I wouldn't have been able to eat through college. See? Yeah, but no, Tucker is an elitist. He is. This guy does not live like you and me. He's not sitting at home in sweatpants and, eating ramen noodles. I bet he doesn't even realize ramen can be sold in a brick.
People who live there lead lives that are worse. So, and the counter argument to the extent there is one, they buy cheaper stuff. Great. But they become more unhappy. And the dollar store itself is a sort of symbol. What's a physical thing. It's a real thing. It's not just a metaphor, but it's also a metaphor for your total lack of control over where you live and over the imposition of aggressively in your face, ugly structures that send one message to you, which is you mean nothing. You are a consumer, not a human being or a citizen.
What the fuck did you just say? When you drive past a Family Dollar and you see that yellow Family Dollar lettering up there, what they're saying to you is, you mean nothing to me. What are you, Joe Biden? You mean nothing to me. Hey, Tuck. As several people just donated to say, if it wasn't for dollar stores, they wouldn't even have been able to eat at times. And you're worried that the store itself is a box with yellow lettering on it. And that is just too far. Thank you, Circus Zero. Tucker was economically a yang ganger. Yeah, I mean, the dude, he's got very socialistic leanings when it comes to economics. He does. And I've been pointing that out for a long, long time. He's just being a lot more honest about it right here. I do wonder, if when Tucker drives past a dollar store, he just starts swearing. I got fucking bullshit. They don't care about me as a human being. Tucker's ever even been in a dollar store? Oh, fuck. But the dollar stores, they don't care about you as a person. Okay. All right, Tuck. What company is selling me stuff that cares about me as a person? Everybody that is selling stuff cares about me as a consumer, dickhead. You know why? Because they want me to consume from them. It's kind of their job, you fucking retard. Would he feel better if every time you walked into the dollar store, the clerk there's like, I love you? Would that make it a better thing? Would that be all right? Fuck, dude.
And so, again, I don't know what we call our current system, but its effects are grotesque. They're grotesque. It's wrecked. I've been here 54 years, and I watch carefully. That's my only gift.
Bro, you interviewed Andrew Tate and didn't even know the charges against him, which had been out for like months at that time. He pays attention, y'all. Maybe that's why he missed it. He was supposed to be doing his research on Andrew Tate, but his driver took him past a dollar store and he lost his shit. So he got distracted. So he had a good reason for not paying attention in that moment. For fuck's sake. Thank you so much, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. I want Tucker to go into an average family home like they did with Hillary. See how many people survive off dollar stores. What the fuck, man? I know, man. I know. This guy. This is what I was talking about with Tucker. I like a lot of what Tucker says. And then he says shit like this. But anyway, that's enough of this. I just thought it was funny how pissed off he is at dollar stores. Damn, dollar stores don't care about you as a person. Where the fuck is he shopping? What do they do in the stores Tucker goes to? What building? Because remember, he's talking about, when he first talked, he's just talking about how it looked. You could see by the look of the building, they don't care about you as a person. Well, the stores you shop at, sir, what do they look like on the outside? Are they like big Roman columns and there's Greek statues everywhere and Michelangelo painted the fucking ceiling and that shows that they care about you as a person? Seriously, I know it sounds like I'm being facetious a little bit there, but in all sincerity, how do you look at a building, right? You're looking at a store. You're walking up to a Walmart, a Target, I don't know. Where do rich people shop? The store where E. Jean Carroll made up her bullshit. How do you look at the outside of a store? Like, oh, that one's got all black trim with big giant windows and bright lighting. How do you look at the store and go, they care about me as a person? Because that's what he was talking about, is how it looks. The way it looks shows you they don't care about you as a person. Like, hey, we're trying our best to get you as much stuff as we can because we realize you live in a place that doesn't have stores. There's $2 stores in my town. Just 5 years ago, there wasn't a grocery store in my town. I had to travel 20 minutes to get to a grocery store. I could maybe get bologna and milk at a gas station. But any grocery shopping, no. You can now do that at some of the dollar stores. And because of that, people brought back grocery stores into my town. Oh, but the towns never get better. Yeah, I'm sure with all that time you spend in rural America, you know all about that, Tuck. I'm telling you, man, this guy, somebody built a dollar store like at his favorite fishing spot or something. He's like, oh my God, I hate yellow. Yellow's the ugliest color ever. Who gets that pissed off to the building means they don't care about you as a person? What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, you know what? There's still more to that. I will throw it into chat if anybody wants to try to go through it. It's so stupid. Seriously, when I first watched that, I sat here with my mouth agape going, what the fuck is he on about? But yeah, that's our Tucker Carlson. All right, what else we got here? Oh, I don't care about that one. Oh, Nikki has finally decided that she's a real candidate for president, you guys. She came out the other day and said that, or at least her campaign came out and said that they would be willing to work with Chris Christie to take down Donald Trump. We were just talking about the DeSantis campaign and Tim Pool going, who's advising this guy? Let me take that tack now. Who the fuck is advising Nikki Haley? Nikki, the only reason you are rising in the polls the way you have is because Ron DeSantis is taking all of Trump's shit. Ron DeSantis, who really hasn't attacked Trump all that much, he's the one taking all the shit from Trump and Trump supporters. You somewhat wisely kept your fucking mouth shut about Trump. But now she thinks she's a real contender, and she gave an interview the other day.
There are things I agree with the president on. I had a good working relationship with him. There are things I don't agree. I don't agree with the fact that, yes, we had a good economy while he was there, but he put us $8 trillion in debt that our kids are never going to forgive us for. I don't.
Do you think Nikki's kids are coming to her going, Mom, I can't forgive you?
Don't agree with how he handles national security. He focused on trade with China, but he did nothing about the fentanyl flow. He did nothing about the fact that fentanyl has killed so many of our Americans. I don't think you should.
One might argue that securing the border more, granted he didn't close it down, helped some with fentanyl.
Praise Hezbollah. I don't think you should criticize Netanyahu when Israel's down on her knees. I don't think you should congratulate the Chinese Communist Party on their 70th anniversary. I think that when it comes to national security, we don't praise thugs.
Okay. Okay. I don't necessarily disagree with what she says here. Congratulating communists. I understand the diplomacy that has to go into being a president and all that, but you could just say nothing. You don't have to go out there and go, I fuck the commies. Although I think that would be a better way to go. You could just say nothing. So, okay, you have a point there. However, Nikki, if you become the top candidate against Donald Trump doing this, he's going to destroy you. He is. And instead of doing this and deciding that, hey, I have balls now, you really need a better advisor besides Chris Christie out there telling you, hey, you need to go after Trump. There's ways to go after Trump, and this ain't it. You can even bring up like the tax thing or the spending thing, the debt that my children are going to hate me for. But at the very least, admit that a large portion of that came from the COVID thing. She says $8 trillion. The numbers they throw around is anywhere from 7 to 9 trillion. I believe it's actually 7. But the overwhelming majority of that came in the last year. Yes, it was a bad idea. Yes, it caused all kinds of problems. But to sit there and we had a great economy, but he spent all this. We had a great economy before that all got spent, and it was all because of COVID. You still have to be honest about it. And if you're going to go after Trump, you need to be honest about it, because all you're doing right now, this came up because there were so many people going, oh, she's going to be the VP. She's going to be his VP. He said he was open to it. Trump values nothing more than loyalty. Loyalty is his top thing above all else. He would shoot his own mother if she's like, Donald, you need to eat all your peas. Damn it, Mom, I don't want to eat all my peas. Loyalty is, don't question him ever. Now, as a candidate, sure, you should be. But you ain't ready for this, honey. You ain't ready for this. You've been given such a complimentary media. They're not out there ripping you apart like they are with Ramaswamy and like they have with DeSantis. You've had a press sucking your little teats. You are not ready for what's going to happen to you going after Trump supporters, going after Trump, his supporters coming after you. You think Ramaswamy's mean to women? Fuck, lady. Trump don't give a fuck. He will come out and point out that your face is caving in. But yeah, Nikki, especially if she was shooting for VP, is shooting herself in the foot, trying to go after Donald Trump. If you got things to say, by all means say them, but you might want to get a little smarter about things. Again, I don't know who the fuck is advising that woman, or more to the point, why she's decided to throw in with Chris Christie. I want to see Trump make her cry. Nikki is the Hillary of the right at the moment. Yeah, I've called her Hillary 3.0 for a little while because she's just Kamala 2.0, who's just Hillary 2.0. So does that square then? Is she Hillary squared? Huh. She's Kamala 2.0 and Hillary 3.0. I don't know. I'm not the best at exponential math. Anyway, moving along. Dun 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 dun. What was this one? Oh, don't care about Eric Swalwell. What was that one? Mayor. Oh, we talked about Mr. Adams earlier. Mr. Adams has had a revelation. Adams, God bless it. Get this stupid thing off my screen. Thank you. Adams admits Dems underestimated migrant impact. Warns of extremely painful New York City budget cuts. Look, they just can't deal with it. We didn't realize how bad it was because we refused to admit it, and we're just playing politics with this shit. I don't give anybody any grace in the immigration discussion. I don't. None. It's very much like communism. You can't look at it and go, well, I didn't know. I didn't know it was bad to say that we should just let all these undocumented people into our country. I didn't realize we'd have to pay for that shit because it's been going on for decades. This shit is older than I am. Oh, but he finally got it. Tim Pool's an idiot. I agree. Yeah, Tim Pool's a fucking retard, man. I'm not even saying idiot. He's a fucking retard. Oh, this story. We'll change subjects a little bit. It's still political in nature, but an attack on all trans people. Transgender youth speak out against Ohio legislation. And I saw this from the lady who shared it. This is her. I've been writing a lot about anti-trans bills recently. So I want to share a story I wrote over the summer where I talked with 3 transgender youths about their concerns with these bills. I'll throw the article in the chat if you guys want to read it. But I want to address the premise here. This person is writing about transgender bills. And what did they do? They went out and asked people who can't fucking vote yet. I think one of them was college age. The other 2 are the one on the screen there's 15. Went out and asked 15-year-olds for their opinion on deep political topics. I'm sorry. Yeah, 15. Nathan Alvarez, who was probably born Bertha Alvarez. I have no idea what her given name is. But they went, how do you feel about these bills that are being? I think it's really dangerous to people like you. 15. Shut the fuck up. You think you're the center of the world at 15. It's not that important. And what we should be doing is taking care of kids, including you. You're 15. You don't know shit. Your opinion on this don't mean shit. I'm so tired of us looking at children and we gotta see what the children think of this. Children are dumb. They have no life experience. And these days, even after they're educated, no education. They're dumb. They're dumb and indoctrinated. I went and asked the children. What did you think of going and asking anybody, above the age of reason? No, we got to pull your heartstrings. Look at this sad kid here. Fuck you. When did this change? When did you know what? I know it probably started. We can probably pin this on Bill Clinton and his for the children bullshit. Because before Bill Clinton, we didn't do everything for the children. Bill made everything. We got to do it for the children because I'm going to have sex with them one day. Suddenly in America, we go from when I'm growing up to our children should be seen and not heard. How many of you guys grew up with that phrase? How many of you grew up with because I said so? How many of you grew up with go outside and play? We went from that to treating our children like little cult objects. And from there, we've deified them to where they are the smartest people on the planet. People literally not educated are the smartest people on the planet. People whose frontal cortex won't finish developing for another fucking decade, in the case of Nathan there. Smartest people on the planet. We got to get away from that. We have to get away from that. I don't want to watch that one. I do want to watch Vivek Ramaswamy's video because we talked about it earlier. Let me see if I can find the right clip. He gave a talk the other day where somebody asked him a question about AI, and he made the statement that Kamala can't even spell AI, which I probably laughed way too hard at. But it's a long clip, and there's a lot to it that I kind of do want to talk about it because there's a good point in there. There's a good point in there. He says that the danger with AI isn't necessarily the AI, it's the amount of importance that people put in it. That if an AI tells you something, you're just going to believe it because it came from the AI. I'll throw that video into chat for you guys. Oh, crap. X, why did you do this? Now when you go back on X, it takes you to the top of your timeline instead of back to where I fucking was. Ugh. Why am I calling it X? It's Twitter. But anyway, here's that video. But the reason I wanted to talk about it, we'll get to the other video in a minute, but the reason I wanted to talk about it is because it's what we see with global warming. And what I mean by that is one of the things they like to tell people is computer models show that New York's going to be underwater. Well, what's a computer model? A computer model is a calculator. And a calculator, if you tell a calculator that 2 + 2 = 5, every time you type in 2 + 2 equals, it's going to say 5. It's going to be wrong every fucking time because that's how it was programmed. But if you gave somebody a calculator, then they did 2 + 2 and it says 5, they go, this is broken. But if you tell them, hey, this computer model says that the world's going to end if we don't stop burning gas, they're like, oh my God. Because they don't understand that all it is a broken calculator. These computer models are written so that if you say the amount of carbon that has gone into the air has gone up by X, it's going to increase the temperature to Y. So every time you tell it that it's gone up by this, it's always going to be Y. Say, just for argument's sake, let's say that it says another part per million of carbon is going to heat up the earth by 2 degrees. Then every time a part per million is added, it's going to go up 2 degrees. So if there's 2 parts per million, 4, 5 parts per million, 10. You guys with me? What they never do is go in and go, by the way, it has gone up 1 part per million and we didn't go up 2 degrees. Showing that the calculator's fucking broken. But people put so much faith in computers. It's like AI. They have computer learning now. This AI can learn on its own. Okay. You know how computer learning learns? Because people tell it what's important. It's still just something man-made to try to correlate data. That's all AI is. AI cannot think for itself. It literally will only do what it was programmed to. We program it to learn. It can't learn. It can only take in what it's already told to take in. See, I'll give you an example, Jen, using that same thing. If tomorrow everything on the internet is wiped out about what 2 + 2 is, if we get rid of all the 2 + 2 = 4, and erase every trace of it, and change it all with 2 + 2 = 5, and if you go to an AI and say, what is 2 + 2? You know what it's going to tell you? 5. Because all it does is grab shit that other people have already said. It's not learning. It's regurgitating. It's just a very advanced regurgitation. We program it what to learn. We program it what to say, basically. Would be true if we were talking about AI a year ago. No, it's true right now. It is absolutely true right now. AI cannot learn on its own. AI will never learn anything it's not told it needs to go learn. Like AI will never AI will not take the history of everything we know, right? Take let's pick cancer, right? if you take the AI that's out there, even today, and say, we need a cure for cancer, go find it for us. You know what they're going to do? It's going to come back and it's just going to repeat to you what other people have said about cancer. It's not going to come back with you and go, oh, Dr. Martin said that if we do this, it cures cancer because there was a drop by X amount. And Dr. Martinez said if we do this, it'll drop it. If we combine those two, it'll probably work. And what we should do is mix chemical X with chemical Y in a way that has never been done before because it can't learn. All it does is regurgitate. There's no thinking there. It's literally just aggregation of existing knowledge. That's all it is. What do you think AGI is? What do you mean? AI is not like a human brain. It doesn't have the capacity to think. It has the capacity to think about what the human brain that programmed it told it to think, and that's it. Yeah, I don't care about that. There were pro-Hamas people screaming at a fucking Santa. Kids going to see Santa, and you have these fucking pro-Hamas shitheads there. Ugh. I'm tired of the pro-Hamas people. I really, really am. I think we might have reached the end of the ones that I really, really want to talk about. So let's go find that Vivek thing because I want to laugh at Van Jones. Telling Van Jones to shut the fuck up is one of the funniest things. Is this the one? No. Did you guys see that the Gadsden flag kid, we talked about him. He got in trouble at his school for having the patch on his backpack of the Gadsden flag. He was at the Turning Point USA thing, and Ramaswamy gets up there. He gives half of a speech, and then the rest of his time, he lets people ask questions. And that little kid got up there and asked a question. Vivek, I know you retweeted that. Why can't I find the clip? Vivek retweets way too much shit. Damn you. You're worse than I am. All right. I might not be able to find it in time because I'm boring myself with that. But anyway, yeah, he tells Van Jones to shut the fuck up. And he uses those words. You know what's funny to me about it? Oh, thank you, sir. I'm so sorry. What's funny to me about Ramaswamy getting up there and telling Van Jones to shut the fuck up is I didn't see headlines everywhere. Oh my God, presidential candidate drops an F-bomb. Thank you, Circuit Zero. I was raised with the only but in this conversation is a spanked one, better known as don't talk back method. Oh God, I got so many spankings for talking back. I never learned, but I understand what I've never heard that saying before. That's funny. What area are you from? Don't dox yourself or anything, but where did you grow up where you heard that kind of saying? Midwest, Southwest, Texas? Yeah, just a general vicinity, because I've never heard that one before. Oh, there was one more I wanted to show. There was one more. I even have it open and ready to go. That's how much I pay attention to my own preparation for the show. So this is a story from the Hill. And it's about how Biden is attacking the extreme congressional Republicans, not extreme MAGA congressional Republicans, which was weird because this one was just extreme congressional. But it's at the end of the story that did something that really irritated me. And it's one of those examples where we can show you guys just how bad. Oh, is that it? Is that it, Bran? We'll grab that in a minute. But just how bad your press is. Earlier this year, Biden had a back and forth with House Republicans during his State of the Union address, during which he warned that some Republicans wanted to cut Social Security and Medicare. Biden vowed he would veto any such effort, eliciting boos and cheers from many GOP lawmakers in attendance who argued his claims were not true. Do you see how that sentence is written? See how that sentence is written? It gives the impression that they were booing him vetoing it. They clear it up at the end. But instead of saying he was booed when he said that they were going to cut Medicare, he vowed to veto it and they booed. See the dirty little trick that's done there? This is your media. They're smarter than we give them credit for. They're a bunch of lying dickheads, but when it comes to manipulation, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. There's no accidental, he elicited boos when he said he was going to veto. That was done on purpose. I wish I could be naive enough to be like, oh, that's just a bad writing. He didn't know what he was actually saying. No, that was done purposefully. Okay, so here's the clip of Vivek. Get him, Swami, man. I love Vivek. I really do.
We demand a government that tells us the truth again in this country. That's what we require. We can handle the truth. That's what it.
By the way, we've talked about what he's talking about here is just the truth overall. Things like what really happened on 9/11. And hold on, I'm not going down the you can't melt steel, but the truth of what happened with 9/11 and the guy who picks up the two Saudis from the airport. He talks about January 6th. He goes into detail in this speech. You can find it on YouTube. Just look up Ramaswamy on Turning Point. I think he's got it on his Twitter where you can watch the full talk as well. I think that's where I did watch it. But I just wanted to point out that all of this, like Megyn Kelly the other day, he just talked all the popular conspiracy theories. It's just a dismissive way to say, oh, don't listen to what he says. But if you actually listen to what he says, he's not out there claiming the U.S. flew a plane into the Pentagon. That's not what he's doing. He's out there pointing out that the government 100%, without a doubt, lied to you about what happened with 9/11. There's no question about it. It's not up for debate. It's 100% true. In that case, where it's talking about, oh, this guy, he just kind of ran into him. No, he didn't. He was a handler. He knew them. Why would they lie to us about that? That's a valid question. And it does show that the integrity of that investigation was compromised. To what depth? I don't know. And I'm not speculating. But what we do know is we were lied to. And this is what pissed me off so much about Megyn Kelly with that is you can even believe in the overall official story and point out there's some really bad inconsistencies here. Or in this case, outright fucking lies. But anyway, that's what he's talking about. And maybe I will dig it up and give you the link so you can just watch it.
It means to be a citizen of this country. So I say that on that last debate stage to a bunch of Republicans that are shaking in their boots. These are the things you're not supposed to say in the Republican Party even today.
He's right. And this is one of the problems with the Republican Party and why I've talked about so many times their fear of the press. Because it's not that Republicans don't think this, but you're not supposed to say it because that's going to make us look bad and lose an election. We're going to get negative press. And so you just shut down that whole conversation. And things that should be addressed aren't. Like, look with January 6th and Megyn Kelly. Oh, all of those people, the people who were using bear spray were feds? Well, one, maybe. But two, he never said the whole fucking crowd was feds. He said it was an inside job. We know it was an inside job. We know that for the first time that the head of the fucking Capitol Police can remember, they didn't tell him who the feds were in the crowd. Oh, thank you, Dangerous, for dropping the full speech.
And then you get the...
Vivek will be a good VP. I really wish he would think about taking it. He said he won't. I think it would be great for him to do so. And I think he's played this properly when it comes to how you deal with the Trump question. He's still all on board for Trump. He's just like, I'm a younger generation who can carry this further. And I think if you're going to go after Trump, that's the best way to do it because he's not attacking Trump in any way.
Mainstream media. You got this character Van Jones on CNN afterwards saying, this is the rise of an American demagogue who's going to live 50 years longer than Trump. This is dangerous. I am shaking. That's what he says. Just shut the fuck up. At a certain point, just shut the fuck up.
And yeah, 100%. And Van Jones really did say that. He said he was shaking after hearing what Ramaswamy said. I was shaking. I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking. Yeah, just shut the fuck up, Van. Van Jones is an idiot, a very big idiot. And yeah, I hope he saw this clip. I wonder if I'm sure he's responded. I'm sure Van has said something, but I haven't really been online much. So I'll have to look into that as well. But yeah, over on the YouTube's Dangerous shared the full video. Dun, dun, dun. Let me throw it in our Rumble chat. There we go. So, how have you guys been doing? I drank too much coffee today, literally shaking, right? Yeah, don't drink coffee. Lady Monkey made the mistake of drinking coffee at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, knowing that she can't sleep very well if she drinks coffee after like 11. I still did the right thing. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Like, you did that to yourself. I should be more like her because she'd look at me and go, well, don't do that. That's my woman. She's honest with me, and I like it. I was just being empathetic with her because I don't sleep worth a shit. I still haven't slept recently, guys. Oh, it sucks. I need sleep. I'm sure a lot of people have sent the fuck Van Jones to him on Twitter. I'm sure he has. I just wonder if he addressed it on the actual television or if he even addressed it on Twitter. Van is a thin-skinned bitch. He really is. Remember, the thing that he's mad about there is Ramaswamy pointed out that there is a push to replace white people. White replacement theory is not a theory. It's a real thing. Does that mean everybody's on board? No, but there are people who are pushing that. And one of them is Van Jones. Van Jones himself has gone out there and said, what we want is to have white people be a minority or to lose their majority. When this happens, and that's what we want, Vivek tweeted out the video afterwards. After Van comes up there with his demagogue, that Vivek pointed that out. He's upset that there's no real good defense of it. There's no real good way to just go, oh, it's all fake, because Van himself has been out there saying it. You know, every time we hear about, oh my God, they're talking about white replacement theory. It is a real thing, but they all try to push it down as though, oh, it's just this weird conspiracy theory about how they're trying to get rid of white people. One, nobody said they're trying to get rid of white people. What they want is white people to be a minority so that they can be oppressed. It's literally what they want. Now, you guys should have to feel how it feels. Forget that nobody actually deals with that anymore. But yeah, you guys, we need you guys, a smaller group of the population, so we can treat you like ancestors we never met and don't know the names of were treated way back when. Yeah. So Van was mad that it blows the cover. It blows the cover. It's not even covered. It's out there. These people say this shit on national television. And they're like, what? I don't support that. Just because I said it. Aren't you an Andrew Tate fan? I can say one thing and then pretend I never did. Anyway, sorry, I keep taking shots at that piece of shit because the Tates keep popping up in my fucking Twitter feed. I do not understand why everybody on Twitter is rallying around these fucking retards. Free speech, fine. Yeah, but admit that the free speech that they want to push is vitriolic, toxic bullshit. It's going to lead a lot of men to hurt themselves in the name of helping men. Fuck that guy, and I hope he's thrown in a Romanian prison for the rest of his natural life because he's admitted to everything he's accused of. I didn't do it. He did. And to see all of the men, you know what I want to talk about just for a minute? There's a rise of this group of people on Twitter. Let's call them the Elon ass kissing crew. Let's call them that. These are people who have gotten quite a lot of attention because Elon Musk retweets them. and they hang out in spaces together, and Elon will come and talk to his little cronies now and then. It's people like Ashley St. Clair that we saw earlier, and the Krasenstein retard twins, the ambiguously incestuous Gayo, and people like Ian Miles Chong. And they're a bunch of really, how do I put this, bad people in some ways. Not all. I don't think Ashley's bad. I think Ashley's stupid. But like Ian Miles Chong is a bad person. He's doxed people before. He's swatted people before. He swatted Andy Worski. You have people like the Krasenstein brothers who gave the federal government $450,000 to stay out of jail when they were defrauding people. You have the Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate crowd who are accused right now of human trafficking and rape. You have all of these people who are coming together because they've been silenced online. And I'm all for free speech. I really am. And I don't think any of those guys necessarily should have ever had their voices silenced. But they're all coming together and rallying around each other. And it's not strange bedfellows. It's like, okay, I get saying he should have the right to free speech. Sure. But do you realize that you're also promoting a degenerate piece of shit? When you're retweeting somebody like Ian Miles Chong and bringing him into this space where either Tucker or Elon are and blasting them out there and giving them a voice, do you realize who you're promoting? And it's this really weird group of degenerates that have all clung to Elon. And Elon is eating it up for reasons I don't understand. There's a lot better people out there. Not me, because I've made jokes on here that would definitely come back to bite any supporter in the ass if I ever got any kind of infamy. But there are good people out there. Why is it the degenerate shitbags are this group of? Maybe it's because the reason they got silenced is because of stupid shit they say and it blew up. So they naturally have more of a presence, I guess. But there are people who didn't get kicked off for being degenerate shitbags who don't get that attention. So it's really, it's just weird to me. It really is. But with that, guys, we're almost an hour and 40 minutes in. I am going to wrap this one up here. So you're saying what we're thinking. Even in that case, I'm just going to go back to the Tucker thing at the beginning. Remember, guys, I can be wrong. I can be biased. I can let my own bias make me wrong. Never just take everything I say at face value. If you agree with me, I'm happy you do. But don't be afraid to challenge either. Because that's what's really missing right now. We've just been taught, oh, do I have that video? I'm sure I do. I just don't know how long ago it was that I shared it. We've been taught, like literally taught, to not think. Or more than just not think, to only think in the appropriate way, in the way that we're supposed to. There's a video, it's from a kindergarten where they're teaching children, how do I want to put this? Well, they're indoctrinating children. We'll put it that way. Teaching children to ignore reality. And fuck, did I share that one? I thought I did. Da, 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 da. How long ago was that? Man, it's been 2 days since I've been on here, so I don't remember what all I talked about on here. Oh, we got to watch that guy too. Fuck. All right, maybe we're not wrapping up. Sit tight, guys. How the fuck did I miss all of this? Oh, because I was gone for so many days. Okay, I can't find it. But what they did is they had 3 cards, right? And they told the children, when they see on each of the cards, they had a shape that was a specific color. Like they had a red square, right? But they told the children when they see red, what they're supposed to do is make a triangle shape with their hands and say triangle. Literally the Picard, you see 3 lights or you see 4 lights or whatever it is. Literally just teaching them, hey, ignore reality. I realize you see a red square here, but you need to say triangle. And they taught these kids this, and the kids did exactly what they were taught to do. That's what's happening on the grander stage. There was an idiot the other day. I saw a clip where they went before some government body. I don't know if I think it was a state government. And they said that men can biologically become women with surgery. Like, no, you can't. I'm all for being respectful and stuff, but I'm never going to say that a man can become a woman. But that's what we're taught to say. You have to say that or you're not a good person. You have to. We are literally being taught that reality is wrong, and that in order to be a good person, you have to lie not only to everybody else, but to yourself as well. And they're doing it as young as kindergarten. That's not a red square. That's a triangle. And they asked them, what was her question exactly? What critical thinking skills or something like that did you guys use to be able to say the right answer, even though you were seeing something else? It's not the right answer. There's no critical thinking skills there. You're literally just repeating what the state told you to say. The question should be, what do you see on this? Not, this is what's there. And that's the difference between learning to think and thinking what you're told. Anyway, so I just want to, I don't even know how well the volume is on this. I forget.
Everything I say about gender is influenced by my whiteness, which is obvious, but there's an interesting second part to this. The rejections of gender and gender roles that I create and embody will still come from my whiteness.
Yep. We have a white guilt rainbow bright sitting in front of us. I asked this question the other day. Why do millennials think dressing like Punky Brewster is a gender? What? I saw this outfit on Punky Brewster way back when I was like 10. Gender whiteness, yeah. Everything about me it's informed by my whiteness. Homie. Let me ask you this seriously. What is it you think makes you special for being white? See you, Massive. What is it that what's special about being white? Do you think you're different than black people? Different than Asians? I bet you really think you're different than the Jews.
Those acceptable to my constructions of self as a white person. I will likely uphold and encourage white beauty standards and see and more immediately accept other white rejections of gender.
Going to uphold white beauty standards. All right.
Essentially, even the most critical analysis of gender I have will still be white, and white gender rejection can and does uphold whiteness and white supremacy. Queer appropriation of African American.
I'm just going to stop there. Do you guys get it? Do you guys get it? It does not matter how much you just sit there and reject all common sense. It doesn't matter how much you suck up to the intersectional bullshit. It will never be enough. That is a dude dressed like a 10-year-old girl from an 80s sitcom telling us that there's never going to be enough for him to self-flatulate on. I can never be a good enough person because I'm a honky. It'll never be enough. Tansal, thank you so much. It's starting to feel more like humiliation than breaking the gender norms. It's exactly that. It's exactly this is you go. You need to go out there and humiliate yourself. I mean, at least the Black Hebrew Israelites are honest about it and make white people kiss their shoes. Have you guys ever seen that video? At least it's a little more honest, but it's the same thing. You need to bow down before us and tell us how horrible you are. What that guy was just engaging in is just racism. It's just racism. Because I'm going to tell you something. I am no more like every other white person than I am like black people. We're all just people. We all have different experiences. there are black people who have known privilege I will never know. And there's white people who are poorer than I've ever been. And the idea that I, in some way, benefit, especially the beauty standard, that's the one that pisses me off so much. We are attracted to things. You know what? Mostly, do you guys know the first thing that really hits our heads when we're looking at a mate? It's symmetry. That's all it is. It's not the darkness of the skin. It's symmetry. The human mind likes it. You guys know what the golden ratio is? It's all about symmetry. Now that, yeah, you can have quirks here and there, and you pick up things as you grow, and there'll be influences in your life that do, yes, this is what I think is pretty. But you're never going to put Lena Dunham up there, right? And convince the entire world that is a standard of beauty. Because the bitch is ugly. There's just no getting around ugly. You can have some subjective standards of beauty, but there is objective ugly. But no, it's white beauty standards. It's not. It's not. It's just beauty standards. It just happens that we're in a white society. So most of what you see is white. So most of the pretty people you see are white. There are tons of pretty black women and Asian women. And I did the Asian one there for Jack, but there really are. There are beautiful women of all colors. You can't look at it. How are you going to tell me that it's a white beauty standard when most men will go, yeah, Asian girls are hot? They tend to have flatter faces, the more slanty eyes. It's not the round-eyed white girl. No, it's the white beauty standard. No, it's not. It boils down to symmetry most of the time. But I'm a white person and I have to hate myself. You don't need to hate yourself. I'll hate you for you. All right. We'll just do that. Excuse me. Asian beauty standards exist. Black beauty standards exist. Hispanic beauty standards exist. But again, it's not a standard that's like pushed on people. It really does come from what people look at. I'm sorry, no matter how many times I see Lena Dunham on TV, I'm not going to go, oh, she's on TV. That's pretty to me. It doesn't matter how many times I hear some woman try to tell Lena Dunham how pretty she is, or who's that really big bitch, Tess Holliday. Oh, look how pretty you are. You're so pretty. No. You're not going to convince me that's pretty because they look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And well, I guess you can make the argument that's kind of cute, not on a woman with a bob haircut. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. I understand, there are beauty standards, but the beauty standards, it doesn't come down to just white or black or anything. There's so many, and you see so much crossover. Anybody who's being honest can recognize that even if you prefer white girls, there's pretty black women out there. Tons of them. And they don't look white. They have dark skin. But that became one of the lies. Like, oh, they're trying to look like white girls for the white beauty standard. Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Frankly, I think most black women with straight hair, I don't like it. One, probably because I like curly hair to begin with. But typically it ends up looking like a helmet. You know what I mean? You don't have that same issue with other people because of the texture of their hair. But if you saw somebody with like ridiculously curly hair that still had some frizz to it, just straighten it out completely, it would look weird too. Because you do have to work with what you were given. And black ladies, you guys got beautiful hair. Why are y'all doing that straightening thing? It looks weird. It looks like a helmet. But that's not a white beauty standard that everybody's pushing towards. It's just not. It's just you really want to know what it is? It's a way to sell beauty products. There you go. You want to look at the beauty standards? Look at how much makeup goes into making really mundane women look like movie stars. And they do look pretty when they have all that makeup on. But it's because they were painted. And it's not a white beauty standard. They do it to black people too. They're just painting a pretty picture. The black girl still looks black. You'll find mostly chubby chasers here. Most of them are us black guys, but in Asian countries or communities, good luck finding someone who'd be fine with that. Okay, all right. If you're talking about body type, sure, I'll give you that one. I'll give you the body type standard. Because yeah, the Asian guys tend to like the really slim girls, but that's who they're around all the time. They'll catch on to the big white girls soon enough. They will, I promise. We're sending them everywhere. We're making the whole society fat. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so kind. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm not going to be game streaming just because of what time it is. It's almost 7 a.m. here. Jesus Christ. I should get back to bed. I woke up at like 2 a.m. and start going through stuff, but I was still tired. I'm gonna go crawl in bed with Phoebe. So you guys have a great night. Take care of yourselves. I love you, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Oh, just in case, like I said, the antenna itself is broken. There is a chance that I'll have issues throughout the week. I'm going to do my best to stream when I can. Worst comes to worst, I'll use the big satellite and I'll just have a delay. I just don't like doing that because if Jack's here, me and him get a delay. But if we have to, we can do that. So, guys, take care of yourselves. I love you, and I'll see y'all next time. I don't know what to sing. I don't know what to sing. So I'm singing about not knowing what to sing. I sound like a ding-a-ling.